photos of them to you and then post it.
Right now?
Send them to you and then post it.
Why did you want to?
Hmm?
The mics are hot.
God, what a taste. .3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city and home of the Juan Castillo Morning Show. Good morning, New Haven. This is Moving Target Radio. I'm your host, Jay Kemp, and I have a special guest, probably the best guest that I'm ever going to have on any show that I do. I got my baby girl, Zoe. What's up, Zoe?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
So, Zoe, do you think one day you could host for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how to do it? All right, let me hear you do it.
94.3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city in the home of Juan Castillo Morning Show. Good morning, New Haven.
Okay, okay.
Hey,
That's what's
hello.
up, baby girl. Thank you. You know what? Yeah, you're gonna have to host for me one day, okay? All right. Don't take my job though. I still need that. Buy you some clothes. Nah, I don't get paid for this. I don't. What's going on, New Haven? All right, we got a great episode, man. It is Father's Day, and I got my comrade, of course, in the building. Remedy Sharif. What's good, bro?
Yes, sir. Peace, love, light, lessons, and blessings. Super Saturday.
Yo, you know it's Super Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Because it's Father's Day.
Yes, sir.
You know, and some would say just Father's Day sucks.
We already erupted. Look, can't
Somebody-
even hold it.
Somebody would say that. You know, matter of fact, I wanna play this by this comedian Ali Sadiq, and I want to play this. I want to make sure it plays.
This how we gonna start off?
This is how we gonna start
Yes,
off, man.
sir.
And I want to see what y'all brothers think of this. Let's make sure.
Let me say this. I've been thinking about this too. Father's Day is the worst holiday in the world. I've done the research. I already know. Let me tell you something. Mother's Day is the second most celebrated holiday in the world. Christmas is first. So that means it's Jesus, then your mama. You know what Father's Day fall at? Number 20. I can't think of
Number
18
20.
other holidays. Do you realize Halloween is number 6?
Halloween is number
That
6.
means ghosts and goblins go before fathers? Arbor Day is number 13. I don't even know what that is. I just know it come before me. That's crazy. Columbus Day is number 16. Celebrating Columbus Day is like celebrating somebody finding money in your house. Where you get that $50 from? I discovered it in your kitchen. Ridiculous. Fathers, and it's mother's fault. It's mother's fault. Because see, when Mother's Day come around, fathers go in their pocket deep. Go in their pocket deep. Hey, I want to get my mama something. You cash that money out. You know what mothers do? Hey, I want to get daddy something. Well, go in that car. It's some change in my little cup holder.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Don't nobody even have a sale.
No sales. I saw one commercial.
Mother's Day sale is like 30 of them. Everybody had Mother's Day sale. Nobody had no Father's Day sale. Who had Father's Day sale? The dollar store. That's how you get water hose and jumper cables for father. And the stores know this because now the store got a little trick for fathers. They make little packages where a little box give you suspenders, socks, and a shirt. One box. And you know what kids do? They give you that stuff throughout the year. They give you that shirt for Father's Day, them socks for your birthday, and then they just randomly give you something else as you know they think about it. It's crazy. Father's Day sucks. And I'm a father. I did all this work to be a father for it to suck.
Yo, that's Ali Sadiq, man. What y'all think, man? Father's Day sucks?
Brilliant.
Y'all think? Hey, yo, let me just acknowledge who's in the building right now. We got mad fathers in the building. We got Xavier Richardson. We got Ty Richardson. We got Coach Solo Solomon May. We got Doc Bant from Black Nerd. We got Darius King Darius Bay. Darius Bay. Darius Bay. Darius, right? Darius. All right, King Darius Bay. So we got more fathers that are coming in. You're basically going to hear us just discussing fatherhood and our experiences with fatherhood and what we love about it and what we don't like about it. But I thought everything he said had a whole lot in it. Number one, just the fact of looking at the holiday Father's Day as like, yo, this holiday sucks.
Yeah.
What y'all think about that?
It got quiet real quick, y'all. Listen.
From a commercialization standpoint, it definitely sucks, right?
Okay.
As I was looking through some things yesterday, I was like, wow, there's no Father's Day sales.
I saw one commercial.
Macy's always takes care of us because they want us to buy their suits, you know. But other than that, I didn't see anything. But luckily, in my house,
Yeah.
Father's Day is celebrated, right? My wife makes sure that she has the kids really understand what that means. But from an overall standpoint, and especially in our communities, I could think back 4 years ago, right? When Father's Day is coming up, you start to see a lot of contention. Folks start to argue about acknowledgement on Father's Day, who should be acknowledged, who shouldn't.
Yeah, you got a lot
Right.
of women that
You
will
got a lot
post
of
and be
women.
like, I'm
the mother and father,
Yeah,
so
right,
it's my
right,
day
right.
too, all of that. And so I've seen it get a little less contentious.
Okay.
But absolutely, the stuff that he hit on is absolutely true.
He also said that Mother's Day was or mothers is the cause of Father's Day being bad. You think what y'all think about that?
I think we contribute, you know, and we contribute to a lot of things in a lot of ways, men and women, you know, and I just don't, you know, traditionally, the father is just, you know, the father, you know, he get a hot plate and then it's like be gone, you know what I mean? He go work, do his thing, he's low key. Order the light and the love. I mean, and we should give enough light and love to our mothers, but that's where it traditionally goes, you know what I mean? So it's just like, hey, who really cares about dad? As long as the lights is on, the food is on the table, all right, dad, go chill.
The marketing of it, I mean, you know, I think like you said, the marketing of fatherhood is like Lowe's, you know what I mean? It's all tools. It's all things that we gotta use to do more work.
Yeah,
Yep,
man.
You can get your Ryobi tool set
Yeah.
on sale right now.
I'm the wrong person to get tools for. Like,
I don't need it.
yeah, I call people. I know people that will fix that.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Man, they're gonna work until your knuckles bleed.
Little PSA, if you go to Burlington Coat Factory or Burlington right now, they got a Father's Day sale. Most of the men's stuff is now on clearance. Real talk. That's our sale.
Get mad
They
ties.
put a bunch of our clothes on clearance.
And it's like those packages he said, the ones that got suspenders, the tie, the socks, and the shirt. And then those are all like 5 holidays right there.
And then, you know, but when you get it, it's because, you know, they've been thinking, she's like, listen, I told him he's going to this meeting with me. He has no choice. He's going to this meeting. So then they'll go get you something for Father's Day, the suspenders, the socks,
What
and
meeting,
everything
though? What
to
meeting?
make sure, well, you know, whatever engagement, whatever engagement.
Yeah,
you know
right,
what
right,
I mean?
right.
You know, she's getting it because you need to be right.
This is when we're going to go out to dinner.
You
So
know,
you're going to get this suit.
Because I think he'll look nice. And 9 times out of 10, we looking at ourselves in the mirror like, hold up.
Because I can't stand these Timbs you keep wearing.
Yeah, for real.
You got to
Yeah,
wear a
man.
suit sometimes. So, all right, let me go around the room and acknowledge, like, who like who's the father and how how old are your kids and all that. So we'll start with you, Xavier, CEO of Hands On Moving. Man, I love what you're doing with Hands On Moving, bro.
Thank you, thank you.
So yeah,
So Xavier Richardson, I've been a stepfather for 7 years, and I've been a father going on 4 years. So big shout out to the stepfathers because I actually learned how to be a father being a stepfather first, and I think we got to really recognize them as well because I kind of got going with basically the preseason of football,
Yeah.
and understanding fatherhood with being a stepfather first, and then I was ready for the real season when my son came. So definitely shout outs to the stepfathers as well.
I almost think it actually requires not necessarily more than being a father, but a little bit it challenges you more because it's not your blood. So, but you have to, not you have to, but you want to love them
Correct.
the same way. And so I would imagine that there was actually even better training and lessons learned.
I wouldn't want it any way different. I loved it the way it was.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
ready and prepared once I had my child, so I love it the way that it happened.
How old?
He was 5 years old when I came into his life. So
5 years old. How old is he now?
12.
Oh, he's 12 now. And then your other two?
my other one
Other one?
is turning 4 July 6th.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Rem, you have 7 in this country.
Well, well,
Take it away, Ray.
see what had happened was, I got 4.
Okay.
I got 4
And how old
beautiful
are they?
babies, man. I got a 24-year-old son, a 23-year-old girl. My wisdom is 16, and I
Shout
got a
out to Wiz.
4-year-old.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great. Yeah, y'all all got me beat. Ty Richardson.
What's going on, brother? So I have 3 children: a 14-year-old son, 6-year-old daughter, 2-year-old daughter.
All right, that's what's up.
Co-parent with my 14-year-old son, and then my daughters are with my wife.
Okay.
So
We're gonna
it's
get
an
into the
interesting
co-parenting.
dynamic. Yeah, we're gonna talk.
Definitely gonna
about
talk about that. Spencer, you ain't got no kids.
I'm gonna care myself basically.
All right,
So.
that's what's up, man.
Don't be leaking.
Oh wow. We're still in the morning, bro.
Rem don't care.
Not at all. I'm gonna get a call from Juan. Like, what y'all doing up there?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, my recommendation to you, I don't know what y'all feel, but I feel like 30 is a good age to consider when you want to start having a kid. I feel like 30, you're in a good space mentally. I know it's usually pushed younger, but I think 30 is a better age for men. What y'all think?
You should be in a better space, but don't have no kids until you're ready. Like, focus on yourself, accomplish all your goals, get everything done that you want to do for yourself, and then think about that. Don't even think about a relationship, really.
Yeah, get it out. Get it
Do
all
you.
out your
like,
system.
do whatever you want to do. Forget all that. Have kids when you're ready.
See, a lot of us don't realize that, and I know I didn't. I speak for myself especially. I know I absolutely did not have a clue that once we have children, your life is over.
It's done.
Your life is over,
That's not
man.
true, man.
No, but wait, hear what I'm saying.
I've heard
Well,
this before I
well,
had my daughter.
Well,
I
see,
completely
we
disagree.
we say that loosely. However, though, you know what I mean? It's that everything about life changes because that child absolutely comes first, man. You can't be sitting in the Timberland outlet looking at a fresh pair of butterscotch Timbs, and a little shorty or so he need what he need first, and you looking at them till you damn near want to cry.
But
I wanted to cry, son. I want them Timbs.
yeah,
Can't get it,
but that's not
because-
your life. There's some things.
but
There's some
your
things.
your life changes significantly.
It
man.
does change.
I'm not a morning person. I'm not when I'm asleep.
Yeah, I
sleep,
know.
man. You got to get up for that child. You have no
Yeah.
choice,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Every
that's
time
the-
I want to cry, I'm looking at the kid like, you really not gonna go back to sleep? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really not gonna go back to sleep?
Right.
Nah, it's hard, man. It's
I
hard.
think I was told that before I had my daughter. I was told, you're gonna have to stop doing a lot of things that you're doing, as far as creatively, a lot of that stuff is gonna slow up. And if I didn't incorporate her in already what I'm doing, meaning like you're just gonna come with me,
Right.
I just made a way for me to still do, because I refuse to do that. I refuse to have to tell my daughter, oh, I wanted to do this, but then I had you. That's almost like that. So I'm gonna use my daughter as an excuse of why I didn't go and achieve and do the things that I wanted to do? No. You know what I'm saying? I just
Yeah.
found a way. I made a way. So I believe your life changes, but a lot of people act as if like everything stops. And agree with that.
Well, I just look, or pardon, I just look at it as like your life is, in a sense, it's not over, but like for me, once my little one got here, I realized like I'm always on guard, man. I'm never off duty.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that being said, when we go to the movies, I'm looking at the exits while everybody enjoying the movie. While we go to the mall or something, I'm laughing on the outside, but on the inside, I'm on deck.
Who that?
Because
Yeah.
I don't, I'm the security guard. I'm
Absolutely.
the ultimate security guard.
Yeah.
And that's really never gonna change.
Never.
So if it's never gonna change, it's something that you gotta willingly sign up for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if you don't sign up for it, you still gotta do it. So you're gonna be upset about it. But if you willingly sign up for it, then you do it with honor and respect. And you get that in return from your children, man.
So Doc Banff, you have a daughter.
Yeah, I have a 15-year-old, and I got, 2 in spiritual essence, but,
Blessings.
I got a 15-year-old, and I love it, man.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? It's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you said, I do want to cry. I do cry sometimes, real talk.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that too.
You know what I mean?
We
But-
do cry, y'all. For
You
real.
know, but at the same time, I love it, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
no
it
doubt.
It's made me a much better person,
Yeah, Coach Solo. So yeah, let's how many kids do you have?
I got 3 kids. I
Yes.
got 3.
Okay.
My son is 26, my daughter 22, and I got another daughter that's 13.
So a lot, and something that is really, and why I wanted you. I know you about to leave in a little bit. You got to go receive an award, right? But based off that reward, can you talk about what that reward is, real quick, that you're going to be receiving today?
It's just a reward for what I do in the community.
Okay.
I train the kids for boxing. They come through. It's not just about boxing though. It's just about getting to learn these kids, know them, because I grew up just like them. I'm like, when I see these kids, I see me.
Mm-hmm.
I was that kid running around here, 13 years old, on my own. Didn't have my parents, didn't have nobody. So I relate and I connect with the kids in a different way.
Yeah.
In my mind, that they feel like I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the top dog.
The top dog.
You know what I mean? The top dog. But that's what this award is about. It's just that the community felt like I deserve an award, so I'm going to go.
One of the things that was important
Blessings
about
on that. Good brother.
absolutely,
Yeah,
yo, and
congratulations,
the
brother.
reason why when I knew you something like that would come along, and when you told me that you had to go do that, I was like, yo, you should really come by just real quick, because I think it's important to acknowledge, as Xavier was talking about, us that are fathers in other ways than just to our biological kids. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the fact that you got 3 kids, but you really got a whole bunch of other kids that come to that gym. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And talking about my other 3 kids, I'm not like the traditional dad, because the way I grew up, I came from prison.
Right.
So I missed most of my kids' life. You know what I mean? So when I came home, it was different than my dad, because I don't know my dad. I never met him, never seen him. I just seen a picture of him 2 years ago on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So I feel like what I did to my children is worse than what my dad did, because I was there. I was in and out, in and out, in and out.
As
So
opposed to just not seeing you at
Exactly.
all.
So
Yeah.
they get familiar with me, they love me, and then I'm gone for a year.
Yeah.
Come back out, get back in their life, then I'm gone for 2 years. Then I'm gone for 6. By the time, but it's kind of different when they kids. When they babies, you could get away with that.
Right. Yeah.
But when they start getting older and they notice you ain't in school no more, you in jail. So now, and then the time get longer. When you go to jail, every time I went to jail was longer.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
It's kind of to the point of like when they're babies. My daughter was 2 months, and I got a job where I was away for a little while. Yeah, maybe a little older. She was a little older. I got the job when she was 2 months, but I had to go away to LA it was only like a month and a half. And that made a big difference when I came back. Before I left, we were good. When I came back, she didn't want to go to me. She was crying, like wanting to stay with her mother.
That's huge.
Yeah, and it was only like a month and a half, 2 months tops.
But let me ask you, good brother, dealing with that, right? The in and out thing, you know what I mean? Um, that injures us a lot of times. You know what I mean? That's something that we have to deal with, and that's hard. How did you get over that hurdle, forgiving yourself? How was you? What did you do something? What space did you go into to be able to forgive yourself for not being there and being in and out and causing that type of dynamic?
Well, first I just had to take responsibility
Mm-hmm.
for, I used to blame everybody. Yo, you ain't do this. That's why I went to jail. This happened. That's why I went to jail. But, the last time I was in jail, the 6 years, I came home in 2013. So I just did 6 years. But I finally got it when the judge sentenced me. That same day when the judge sentenced me, and he gave me a little speech. He was like, Mr. May, if I see you inside, basically what he said, if I see you inside my courtroom again, you 33 years old, you doing the same thing since 91. He said, next time you come in here, I'm gonna make sure you don't come home because you ain't good for society, basically. So at that point right there, I got it. But now I gotta do the time.
Right.
So me being in jail for that 6 years was so different than the other time because the other time I didn't get it. I was like, I'm about to get out. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna do this. But that 6 years, with me getting it, I seen everything that I enjoyed when I was in there before, and it's crazy to say enjoyed.
No, there's some brothers that would rather go back.
Exactly, but that 6 years, I started seeing things. I was like, what the heck am I doing in here?
Yeah.
What really was significant, I was out at rec early in the morning, and I'm sitting up here having an adult conversation with this guy. And I looked at his name tag, and it said he was born in 1993.
Oh, man.
I said, yo, my son was born in 93. I'm sitting up here having an adult conversation, and we talking explicit stuff, like, and I was like, wow. So immediately I went back in my cell, and I almost cried, like, thinking about it. And he was talking reckless, and I was talking reckless. So I just felt so...
Because you sitting here like, this is my son's age.
Exactly.
And we talking like we on the same level.
And that's how I felt. But at the end of the day, I needed that 6 years. I needed it.
No doubt.
I needed it so much, man. And how I got over it is, and it's a bad thing, how I got over it is, emotionally, I had to forget about people. I had to forget about my kids. I had to forget about, it hurt talking about it now. I had to forget about my kids. Forget about their mothers. I had to forget about my family because I've always been on my own anyway. So it was hard. And then when you get out of that situation, it's like the people that you love are strangers because you really don't know them because you had to forget about them.
Right.
And in order for me to get through what I had to get through in there, I had to do it in my mind. I had to do it. I can't wait for visits. It's going to kill me if I don't get one.
Yeah.
I can't wait for phone calls because ain't nobody going to put no money on it.
Yeah.
Can't wait for letters because ain't nobody going to
It's almost like you don't want to get your hopes up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had to just say, okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, we celebrate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I see what you're doing with every one of those kids. At Wexler Grant, I run into those kids, Talia and Brianna and Tiana. Like, bro, I'm grateful that not only are you working with them, but it's the consistency, you know what I'm saying, of them always being able to go there and train. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. So what you do and what all of us do. Some of us are coaches. You know what I mean? Anybody coaches in here of a team at all?
Not anymore. Used to.
You were coaching, yeah. All the coaches, everybody out there that's doing that. I mean, we salute you because that's your fathers too, uncles. You know what I mean? People who are stepping in as uncles and really doing the work.
And one of the motivations of what I do is I look at it like I wasn't in my right mind when I was out there in the hood doing the things. Since I came home, I feel like I'm in my right mind, and it's kind of like I'm being the father that I wanted to be, that I wanted to be when I was out there being a knucklehead. So now I see all these kids, and I see like it's my responsibility. I messed up this hood so bad, and I feel like I need to. And I know how easy it is for them to get drawn into.
Oh yeah.
Because
Because
if you in the hood, if you grow up in the hood, and your first piece of fun is being out there, it's gonna be hard to get out of it.
Yeah.
Because you have so much success in that negativity.
Right.
It's gonna be hard to come back.
Yeah.
So I try not to let them even taste that.
Not to mention,
Don't
you
even
know,
taste it.
hip hop reinforcing the narrative that
Makes it
we
hard.
always try to speak against. Darice, what about you, bro? How many kids do you have and all that?
Well, I have one daughter. She's 12 years old. Forgot the other part. What you said.
Yeah, just yeah. How how old your kids are?
Yeah, my daughter, she's 12. She go to Nathan Hale. She been with me for like almost 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Oh, been with you, like living with you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And did you I don't know if you want to touch on that process of like how, because that doesn't happen often.
Some things happened where like I didn't like the school she was at, so I took her out. I took her out of the school or whatever, and at the time her mother couldn't put her on the bus because she was working at the school. So like ever since then she been living with me, and so I brought her back to the other school that she used to go to, and the school was like near where I live at. So that's
Okay.
how that worked out.
Yeah. I feel like, what about when it comes to that, the dynamics between how a father is treated if he is in the home and if he's not? You know, is there a different respect level? Should there be a different respect level for that?
What is it? I mean, I feel like it's definitely a different respect level. I don't feel like it should be, but it is, and real quick to interject, we gotta start forgiving each other and start healing. You know what I mean? I'm talking about men and women, mothers and fathers. You know what I mean? I don't think enough women need to understand that if we talk about the trauma, they talk about the trauma that they go through, and we got to look at that objectively and give respect to that. We need to also look at the trauma that men go through, that fathers have went through, and that they're still going through now, and look at that objectively and have empathy for that. And that's the only way we're going to be able to fix it and make that situation better. So me understanding the dynamic of me once being in a home, and that's something that was like, it's been very hard for me. You know what I mean? I mean, I still to this day, I try to do it a lot more, but I was, seeing a therapist for a while. Mental health is serious. You know what I mean? So me once living at home with, especially with my oldest two at one point, then with, my last, with my middle daughter, and then being out of the home, man, it's totally different, yo. Cause it's some things.
What are the differences that you feel like?
One of the differences I feel is that decisions that are being made, the importance of decisions being made, and the impact of every second. My daughter for a long time, and that caused somewhat of a separation between me and my daughter to a degree. You know what I mean? Because she was used to daddy there, period, point blank. It don't matter if it's 8 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. When I get up, what I need, and that's that's my love, that's my life. So me and her had that, like in the mornings. I used to get her up and get ready for school because I didn't like certain things that transpired in the morning. Not nothing crazy, but something great, things that would just, the way you talk. You gotta prepare your kids for school. They mental should be in a certain space, and certain things I didn't like at times. So I started doing that so she could go to school happy and make sure she's in her best space. And it just, it creates a different dynamic because now that's gone to a degree. It's not
So
accessible.
it's almost like
that.
well, you aren't really. It's almost like you don't really have a lot of say here because you're not in the home.
Yeah, it makes it like that. Yeah, man.
I mean, that comes down to co-parents. I know, Ty, you and I wanted to touch on that. What are your thoughts on positive strategies for co-parenting?
So, if I knew back then what I know now, those earlier years with my son would have been a lot easier. I think first and foremost, the adults have to get out of the way. Adults stand in our own way. We still dealing with our mess, and it's affecting the seed that was brought forth. Communication is key, right? Active communication, open communication. But another piece, the brother touched on being imprisoned, right? Early on, I was in a mental prison. I wasn't behind a block, but I was behind a mental wall that had been built up because I was so concerned with what is everybody else thinking? What is everybody else saying, right? And when you're not in the home, like when that family unit is not complete, everybody has a story.
Yes.
And you understand, Jay, you understand like how movies are made, right?
Right.
Everybody creates a movie
Yeah.
about you.
About what
And
happened,
about
why
what
it
happened,
happened,
why
what
it
did you
happened,
do?
who's
Oh, yeah.
responsible,
Yes.
right? And so you're walking through this world, and in the work we do, we working with kids, and you're like, is somebody judging me saying, well, why you with your
Right.
kid,
Oh,
right?
man.
And so
You
it,
talking
it
right
was
now.
tough, man. It was really tough, and you know, my younger brother helped me get through that.
And
Some of
younger
my
brother Xavier. Yep.
some of my fraternity brothers helped me get through that. But when you look back on, like when I look back, communication, right? Um, Putting the child first, because sometimes we think we're putting the child first, but it's
We're not.
really our own selfish reasons,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And just a understanding that that child values your time, that child values you, that child respects you, and that's what's, you know, first and foremost, and then everything else falls into place. We're in a much better place now, right?
Yeah.
But I wish it didn't take so long
To
to
get
be
there,
honest,
right.
to get there.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I'm not just gonna blame his mother. It was both of us, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we stand in our own ways as human beings, because we all think we know what's right.
Right.
And so if I think I know what's right,
Then what you saying is
Great.
wrong.
it don't even matter what you say.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and
Right.
to be able to get out of our own way, and one thing I would just suggest that you could do, like real talk, you know, men and women, fathers and mothers, go to one another and just, and this is for the best interest of the child, of course, go to one another and just say, I'm sorry for whatever transpired. Whether you felt, yo, it's very
No,
hard.
no,
But
no.
let me say
It
this.
was
yo.
at one point.
But
It's
look,
not now.
yo, it liberated me, yo. I'm telling you straight up, when I went and I apologized, because, you know, as a man, I looked at it and, yo, I could have in some areas been a better husband. You know what I mean? I don't think I did things that was grounds for, you know, us getting divorced and all that, but I could have been a better husband. So, but once I went back and I apologized for that, like sincerely out of my heart, I'm sorry, baby. Ain't nothing I could do to change none of that. But now we looking at her. Once I did that and liberated myself, I'm able to move freely now and be in whatever space I need to be in for my daughter.
Yeah, I think that's key, man. We got for co-parenting. You got to put yourself aside. You got to put yourself aside. And for me, that's still things that I'm learning at times. You know what I mean? Because you know we're great as co-parents for the most part, but yet we're still new. You know, my daughter's only 5. You know what I'm saying? So there's still some things and decisions that are made that we have to kind of communicate through. And at times, you know, us being who we are and the different people that we are and how I am and how she is, yeah, it becomes it becomes a little difficult for me to kind of get past the way I think it needs to be and feel like, well, what logic does that make? Why would you, you know? And now I'm sitting here like, man, see, this is why you get on my nerves. And I know she does the same thing with me, you know, but eventually it comes down to the fact that, you know, we do have to, it doesn't matter how we feel. You know what I mean? It matters how she feels. Zoe, you know what I mean? Or our child.
So is it a level or a degree of how much I should let go, how much I should deal with, how much I should just say, okay.
Everybody took a deep
How much should I
sigh.
deal with that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because from where I come from, man, my mindset is like, if it makes sense to me, if it makes sense to me, and you not on board with it, it's not gonna do nothing. It's gonna physically hurt my daughter. It's not gonna do nothing. It's physically gonna get her in trouble. Like, what's the problem?
Right.
So if I have some clouds over here, like I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, because then you got to ask yourself, like, are you saying no because it's me?
Yeah, like where's
Are
coming
you
from?
questioning my capability as a
yeah,
father?
where is that coming from?
Right,
like,
right,
because
right.
if I was with you before, you know me, you know me.
Yeah.
So now we not together. Now I'm a different person. You don't know me now.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So that kind of is aggravating.
I think what's aggravating to me is when I get most defensive is when I feel like my ability as a father is questioned.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right.
Because I feel like, well, yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? Some things is said, and I'm like, you didn't have to say that to me. You know what I mean? I already know that. So I do. I get frustrated with that. So at that time, I'm like, am I supposed to now just like let that go?
But let me
Or
ask,
am I supposed to call that out and be like, yo, listen, man, why you questioning
no,
what I
but
do?
so
Because
in
I don't
that-
question what you do.
But look, but in that, right? So is it true? You know, everybody, yo, is it true, right? We heard Kevin Hart say, "How do fathers watch the kids?" Like the father be sitting in there watching TV, doing whatever he's doing. You hear a big bang in the next room, and you just listen.
That is
you,
me.
You stop and listen, and you like,
What happened?
yeah, everybody all right now?
You good?
You listen. So are the mothers then in that sense is that does that play a role into they know how we are sometimes, so they start thinking like, yo, I gotta watch out for my baby because this fool just gonna sit there until he sees blood leaking into the next room.
I want to go to Derice and Ty pointed to Xavier, so I want to see what he got to say about that.
No, I just wanted to add to like letting the stuff go. Like if you feeling like y'all not connecting, like y'all should talk about it, whatever. But a lot of times they only do certain things because they know how you're gonna react. And I want to touch on what he said about she telling you, oh, do this, that, and the third, but she do know you, right? She know that you're gonna do whatever.
Yeah.
That's just like a way to like control what you doing at that time. But because they know how you are, they know you're a good father, but they just want to be over you and try to like tell you what to do. Come on, you know what you're doing.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? Like,
Xavier, you got some experience
I'm
with this?
definitely that dad. Like, hey, what y'all doing in there? I'm definitely that guy. But over time, my wife used to get on me about that and to say, and you gotta honestly, you gotta be truthful with yourself. We're all like that. And I think women, we have to understand their love language and say, you know what, you're right. I gotta go the extra mile so you don't question me. It's not that they don't question our ability to be a father,
Right.
but it's a free for all.
Yeah.
And I think that I have to really understand, like, wow, when I do have the kids, I gotta be awesome. I actually try to like do something over and beyond, like make sure they shower, food is done. Like when she come in the house,
That's above and beyond?
I want them in the bed. They both in the bed sleeping. Then I sit there at the door like this, like, what's up? What you gotta say today?
Right,
so
right.
it's I challenge myself sometimes just to make it fun in the house.
You know what? I
to be
will
honest
say
with you.
I did when it was clear to me that okay, you a single dad, you know what I'm saying? It was like my first reaction was to prove to everyone that I got this. It wasn't even for me. It wasn't even for her.
He's running around. I got this.
I'm like, watch. Yo, hair. The only thing I didn't get right was getting her hair.
That's rough, man. I
Yo,
still can't do
what?
it.
I still
My
didn't
wife
learn
do
how
it
to
at night.
braid yet. Yeah.
But I think that speaks to like the systemic issue, right? I don't want to speak for everybody, but I know in a lot of communities, I know growing up in the Ville, a lot of dads weren't present when we were kids, right?
Facts.
And so there's no manual to it. When I think about my dad's relationship with his dad and then what's been passed down, I think folks do the best they can with what they have. And then now there's this movement of fathers like our generation that are active, and then like this brings up what we talked about sitting at the dance studio one time.
Yeah.
Then we get treated like unicorns.
I know.
Right? So active dads are now treated like unicorns. It's like, oh my God.
Look at him
You know,
walking
look
with
at
his
him
daughter.
Walking with his daughter.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. But here's the other side of it. When you're an active dad, now mom starts to get judged.
Right.
So me and you sitting in the dance
Right.
studio, where their mothers at? This is a dance studio. Well, I'm here because I want my daughter to know that I value her dance as much as I value my son's football game.
Exactly.
Right? And so that is important.
Yeah.
And so I think that when you look at and when we go back to the point of like moms like kind of dictating, how things are done, right? My wife just does some things better than me, right? She's just more efficient. I'll get it done,
Yeah.
but she's more efficient at it. And I would get frustrated sometimes, but she's like, "Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" But now it's a good dance,
No doubt.
because the morning routine is on me. She's out the door early to go to work,
Yeah.
and so she does a lot of things on the front end at night, right, to help. So even within the home, there's this dynamic of dancing with your partner.
No
right?
doubt.
You got to be able to dance with your partner, and you got to still, if you're co-parenting, you got to be able to dance with your ex-partner.
Yeah.
And that's what's hard, right? Because you
Yeah.
don't want to dance with that person,
Yeah,
but you
man.
got to dance with
I
that
don't even
person.
want to dance
I don't
with you.
want to dance with you,
But why?
right?
Huh?
Why?
Why? Well, now I do, but at first,
I mean,
yeah.
why you have to dance with it?
Because you're still raising this child, and so there has to be some consistency between both homes, right? So my
There
son
has
is
to be
with us.
some type of.
No, no, I'm saying
Why
why? Why
do
do
we?
I have to? Why do I have to dance with?
And because
In decision making
In
and
decision making.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you talking about? Oh, okay. You
Yeah,
with
yeah,
said,
yeah.
with
my
co
bad.
Oh no, I don't mean
I thought
physically
you talking about
dancing.
going
Like,
to
nah,
the
I don't,
dance
I don't
and
mean
then I
that.
have to
Oh, no,
dance
no, no,
with.
no,
Nah, I
no,
don't
Like,
mean
no, I
meet
don't
me
gotta
at
do that.
terminal. We about to
Like,
get it in. Nah, nah, nah,
Yeah,
nah,
right.
He
nah.
like, what life are you living
Yeah, I
right
don't gotta
now,
do
bro?
that.
He said, I'm not doing
Matter of fact,
that.
I don't even want to see you. Like,
got to dance
if I
with
see
you.
you, I might leave.
I'm
No,
not
no.
dancing with you.
So listen, we are going to be coming right back. I know my guests probably won't be joining us. Hopefully they will. Banff, you're sticking around, right? Okay, because we want to talk about the Father's Day celebration that we're having tomorrow. So please stay with us. Thank you to everybody who came through, all the fathers, and we got more fathers coming through. All right, so stick with us. We're coming right back for the electric drum. Yusef Shaw will not be in today. So stick with us. 94.3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city.
Played myself. I should have did that last night.
Yeah, all right. Myself ready, man.
See, I got my wife. My wife is like
No, that's
she's
cool.
just one of those
But thank
people,
you for
man.
the
She ironed it out yesterday,
That's a blessing.
and I'm going. In my mind, I'm
Actually,
going,
you know
man,
what,
we're
y'all?
not going to 9
You could
o'clock.
actually still talking to the mic, and
That's a
it's gonna be
blessing.
picking up for our YouTube live, just not
Okay.
live on the radio. So
Got it.
y'all can still talk in the mic, and this could still be content.
Yo, I gotta go get ready for
All right,
this
yo.
young dude's thing.
Appreciate y'all brothers, man. For real, for
I'll see
real.
you in like an hour.
Yes, yes.
Appreciate
I live
y'all,
right around
man.
the corner, so I think I got.
Yes, sir.
That
think I
dude, man.
got-
I remember that work you used to do at Amistad.
203 still 361.
Ty, you already know, bro. I got a bill with you, man, about what we were talking about yesterday.
Yo, because I got some ideas for you.
Oh, yes.
I got some ideas for you, yo.
Yo, man.
You don't need them.
I'm a-
Probably the best thing that ever happened.
Listen, bro, I got so much to pick your brain about. Even with school and all, like my track, like where I'm going with it.
Yo,
I gotta talk with you.
I love to get you in to juvenile, yo.
See, let's talk, because I really don't know what direction.
It's different than what it looked like.
Okay.
You can keep them boys from going in. That's what I'm doing.
Listen, man, we gotta talk.
Why not you come in, put money in your pocket, make you a partner into my business, building you up, you bringing something to the table.
Probation?
It's
I'm
like,
a
that's the way you
supervisor.
gotta think. I heard you say the CDL,
Yeah.
training program.
Like when she was in
I'm like,
school, you
Let's get it.
My brother,
Save me
like,
on my
was
insurance.
her boyfriend at the time. He was in the street. She didn't
pay
see
you
him
a couple $100 to do it.
Take my
I
number.
still keep growing my business.
What?
Because
I don't
I
got none
heard
of
the
my
way you
car
grew.
on
That's
there,
the way we gotta think.
Let's go.
And that's the way I always pick up like that. Like when you said that, I was like, bam, I can make this dude work. You gotta figure out how you can make other people work for you. The problem is we always
Hit
want
me
it
up,
to be
yo.
opposite.
Yeah.
Now, I need to hear you
Make it happen, yo.
because you're gonna be a benefit to me.
All right, fellas.
All right, bro.
It don't have to be dollars. It could be expertise. That's the way I look at it. you
Yes,
know?
sir.
That's what I'm talking
I just
about,
text you this
man.
now,
Yes, sir.
and like come in, I'll let you see just the way things are going. But you come in, see where it's going. You go, yo, X, I think we need to do this. I think we need to do that. We need to have this type of law. They need to be tracking mileage, whatever. Like, be honest with me.
For sure.
Be honest with me
For
with
sure,
everything.
yo, for
and
sure.
Just, and
Yes,
we
sir.
come up with a package, whatever.
Yes,
to get
sir.
it right. 'Cause
They pre-trip and everything in the morning.
yeah, they got a checkout list. They saying what the mileage is, checking tires, checking,
So yeah,
wire,
Jay, I got a
certain
whole
wires.
So they're not as detailed as
different
that. Which,
perspective.
that's
So
what I
it's
mean.
certain
on
ones.
the whole
You don't have to
Father's Day
go
thing,
through the
man.
whole.
Oh, where?
But it's certain
I want to hear this.
You want to
different,
check
man.
certain wires.
Because
or
the
you can do
stories
that
that I
every 2
hear
days,
that
every
you
3
guys
days,
say,
you know what I mean? 'Cause it'll
it's
take
like I didn't experience that, so I look
but
at it from a
certain
whole
ones you want to look in there and see
different. I
and say,
didn't
all right, that's
experience
still
it
good.
as
I ain't
a
got to work
father, and I
because
didn't
one is.
experience it as a kid.
And I'll
having a
get my
father.
paperwork.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot that might share the
because,
same
you
thoughts
know,
on that.
Right now, I
Yo,
can't
y'all
put
can
the name off the
Banff, you
top,
can
but
sit now. We got
certain-
we got space free. Oh, you about to build? Okay.
That's decision making.
I hear you. Oh, I feel you. I feel you.
Because that's the thing is like these guys they know, but it's like
I think I could
real
push.
training.
I
They
could
got
push.
full
I could push a
training by me.
little
Right.
bit.
But I need someone
Yeah,
that this
I mean,
is
cause
what
we
you do,
gonna go in
right?
3
What to
minutes,
do.
Right.
Show you
and
what
like
you
yo,
got.
by 9:15.
Yes, sir. And I done drew
You know what I'm
across
saying?
them,
That's
got them
enough time.
everywhere, bro. And ain't got no violations.
And just so y'all
No
know,
violations.
tomorrow,
Rain,
what, like
wind,
2?
news, like they come across this.
It depends if it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I'm
Right.
gonna be
Understand
out
how to
there
do it on the bridge.
so
Right.
That's the stuff where it's like
I'll probably
I need your
be like
expertise
12,
for it.
12:30.
You know, like even
But
sometimes I be like
it-
get shook. I'll be like, damn,
Yeah,
this one is strong.
Right.
You know, what do you do? How do you hold the wheel?
I drove through.
So-
I drove through this spot.
Yeah, so
and
like
real quick,
3:30,
in,
coach,
Oklahoma,
we all gonna be
this road have
Banff
lights
coach.
on it. When the lights
Banff be
flash, you can't go
doing a
across the
Father's Day
stretch road.
celebration.
The wind was
Oh, yeah?
flipping
It's
back.
just it's a toast.
Over, bro.
Toast.
It's out there like that right now, man. Straight up. When I'm like, so what happens when you get caught? You get on that road before the lights start flashing, but like it was like 6 miles. But down the other end, you could see the lights flashing. That lets you know that wind's coming. Terrifying, like real talk, terrifying. Cause especially if you
It
empty.
becomes scary, man.
Yeah, yes sir.
Especially when you're empty.
What's gonna be at?
I came through Pennsylvania, certain places, man, the wind. It just that bridge, Chesapeake Bridge, whatever.
My man, the barber, Sean, my barber, he coming.
Yes sir.
It's time where as a grown man, my palms are sweating, shirt sweating.
It's not even long, right? It's basically coming through. If you want to stay, you stay.
Talking to the wife on the phone, just
But I'm saying the point is like getting everybody for the
This
toast.
spots I done
Word.
prayed the whole way. I done prayed the whole way down side of mountains. You can look over and say ain't nothing but drop. And then you got another trucker behind you that's on you. On you. And just like, yo, man.
That's how they be driving.
Yeah, yo, insane.
All right, fellas.
Look forward to that.
Peace,
Appreciate
peace,
it.
brother.
Yes, sir.
Jay,
Yes, sir.
appreciate
Yo, man, I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Juneteenth, right?
Yeah, my
I
bad.
get it. No,
When
you
is that,
good.
next week?
Juneteenth,
Good.
the 22nd, Gulf Street.
Cross Street.
On Saturday. Okay, yeah, my
Yeah.
birthday day.
Yeah, so
So
y'all come through. They was asking what y'all really wanted to do, but I said they got it, man.
Did you ever
They'll
figure
come
out
through, do what they got to do.
Did you figure out what the workshop
I
thing
don't
is?
know what the hell shit talking about, bro.
now was it workshop wise or like just speaking?
Okay, so you
So-
know.
Yeah,
So-
about Juneteenth.
What does what the workshop thing?
So
I don't know, I'm not
just
sure.
I just wanted you to capture it some type
Oh,
of
capture,
way.
okay,
I want
alright.
you to capture some type of way. Do how you do.
Okay.
Come out there, y'all boys. You learn. You know, you look at the history of Juneteenth. Going, I don't really know the real history. I'm on a committee, but it's real history that people don't know about Juneteenth.
Oh yeah.
Which I gotta get more educated at.
So they don't want us to like or you don't want us to like moderate anything, but just more like capture it, go live.
You could definitely take the stage. She
Okay.
wants that.
She wants that. Okay.
She wants that.
Who
She's
is it?
governor, Kelly Moreau. She's running that, and it's a couple of people that's up there.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
a couple of-
So yeah, that's next Saturday.
That's next Saturday.
Yeah, my
What time is
birthday.
that?
I sent you the information.
Yeah, I do have it.
Yeah, what time
I'll
is that?
send it to you too.
Because I also just talked to Juan. He was talking about us
But it's a
going
Juneteenth
live
and
with
Bridgeport
the show
thing too.
from different venues. He wants
Yeah,
us
but
to
not
start
this
doing that.
Saturday. Not next Saturday. Yeah,
Right.
but we already did that. I mean,
Right.
like he knows we open fed. We did that at Golden Corral.
Right,
We did
but no,
that
but he
at
said he
Comcast.
want to pick up. He want to pick that up. Pick
All
that
right.
up.
Yeah, summertime. He usually does.
Yeah.
But this is next Saturday.
Right.
I don't know though. I don't. So they are you speaking? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm bringing.
No, he bringing the
I'm
boys.
I'm
Oh, you bringing the?
kids
Oh,
in.
okay. All right.
I think the workshop means like have the kids do something or
Maybe some type of show them like I had Ernest show the mentors like three.
maybe work with some of the kids that's gonna be there.
Yeah, something like that, or show them some stances. Like I had
Yeah.
Ernest show them like how they got to stand and you know what I mean.
Out there boxing each other.
Yeah.
But that was the plan. have
If
them
we could
school
get two
box.
kids that are really
Somebody-
beefing,
It's about, it's about the culture, man.
if we get two kids that are really beefing and get them to fight,
No. Nah, cause they need to know how first.
Yeah, 12 to 5.
12 to 5. Well, we don't gotta be there the whole time though, right?
No, you don't have to do it.
All right.
Can't even pull the trigger. Just holding it. Wow, nigga.
All right, we about to go live in a minute and 20.
All right, brothers.
Yes, sir.
This song right here was everything.
Yeah, if you ain't like this song, you was pretty
Yeah,
whack.
it sound wrong with you. 94.3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city and home of the Juan Castillo Morning Show. This is the Electric Drum. I am Jay Kemp, and I'm also with my co-host Remedy Sharif. What's up, bro?
Peace, peace, love, light, lessons, and blessings.
We are filling in for Yusef Shaw for the Electric Drum, and we are continuing the show that we started with Moving Target, the hour that just passed, which was all about fatherhood. And we are celebrating Father's Day. We had a whole bunch of fathers in the building. We still got some more fathers in the building, and we're just conversing. That's what you're coming into. You're coming into a conversation that we're having, talking about our experiences and challenges, and in some ways how Father's Day just isn't really promoted. It's not marketed. It's not promoted. You know, we don't hear much about. I think I saw one Father's Day commercial. Yeah, this whole time I saw one. But yeah, so we got Doc Bant from Black Nerd. If you listen to Moving Target, you hear the theme song. That is the man that you're hearing from. What's up, bro?
Peace, brother. How you?
And then we got Solomon May from Elephant in the Room Boxing. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? What's good?
Cooling. And then we got, I always get your name messed up.
King
man.
Darius Bay.
Darius. King
Darius
Darius
Bay.
Bay. And I asked Rem, he was like, yeah, it's Darius.
No, I did not.
Yes, you
brother.
did, bro.
Brother, listen. Every single time I done built with the king, every single time I say his name dead right. It's Darius. I don't understand
Darius.
why you can't hold on to it.
Hold on.
You know, but don't.
It's Darius.
It's Darius. See,
Darius.
look.
Darius.
Yeah.
So every single time I was saying it wrong, but it was closer than yours.
Peace, King. What's good?
Peace.
So the last episode, we talked about, our kids and co-parenting challenges, and we got into a whole bunch of different conversations. But before the break, or during the break, should I say, Coach Solo, because you're about to leave soon, so I want to really speak with you about this. And again, I want to celebrate you as I did the last episode. We all do, because you're not only a father of 3 biological children, but you're a father of so many other children, not biologically, through boxing and through training them, and the coaches. And we want to salute those that are coaches, that are uncles stepping in as fathers. We want to salute you, man, because you are part of the village that really takes care of our
upholding
children.
the village.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that, man.
So you got a different perspective on Father's Day.
Yeah, I grew up, I never met my dad, and I wasn't the best father growing up because of my situations, going to jail and different things, and being out in the hood. The streets was my life. So I listen to these brothers talk about, the experiences that they have and being dads and seeing the kid growing up. And to me, it's like I didn't experience that. So it's kind of like I really don't think about Father's Day too much because of where I come from. When I was in prison,
Right.
Father's Day came, nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I related to like, it's a regular day.
Is
like,
that changing now, though? Because you got so many kids that look up to you now, and some of them look at you as their father figure.
In terms of me celebrating it as, a holiday, is like if the kids come to me and they say, I look at you like my dad, or Happy Father's Day, Coach, then, I'll think about it then. But at the time, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about how I get these guys to beat somebody up. You know what I mean?
Girls.
Yeah, and girls too also. So
Yeah.
that's mostly my mindset, man. My focus is that, I love my children. I love my kids. I got a son, 26. He just graduated from the State Trooper Barracks in Georgia.
Oh, salute.
I got a daughter. She 22. She a plumber.
What?
She's a plumber.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
man.
and my daughter 13. She played AA. I got another daughter from another marriage. She 13. Her
Okay.
name's Sinai. So I don't look at myself as the traditional dad like you guys talking. I look at myself. I feel like I missed that wave.
Yeah.
I missed that wave, and now I'm more like the guy. Like I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm here.
I'm
like,
here now doing the best I can.
You need me, come through.
Yeah.
You need me to help you with something, I'm here. I'm never gonna tell you no.
But that's actually a different perspective we don't normally talk about, is the process that we would offer to kids that we know whose fathers might have been absent. We know So there's a lot of kids that I know that their fathers are absent, and I know what their fathers are dealing with. I know what they're going through. I know why they're absent. More than likely, it's not because they have something against you. There's a whole bunch of other things that they're not really aware
Absolutely.
of, right? So
Absolutely.
what do you feel a child should do in regards to now when the father has come to a realization, has come to a place of enlightenment where it's like, look, I'm here now and I'm trying to do the best I can. You know, do we hold him accountable for what has happened before, or do we kind of encourage not just the children but the mother too to be like, nah, you got to embrace that?
Well, I feel like in my situation, like I've answered my own questions. I forgave myself for anything that I've done, or what me not being there. You know, like I said, I love my children to death, man. I would do anything for them. But I was in a place where I couldn't see them. I couldn't think about them because if I did, my sanity wouldn't be
Yeah.
where it is. So now when I come home, I remember them as kids. When I come home, they're teenagers now. They got their own mind. They got their own mindset.
Yeah.
So, me as their dad, I'm letting them know I'm here. I'm around. You know where I'm at. I know where you at. We get together. We get together. But it's that like what we was talking about earlier about co-parenting.
Yes.
Like that's like the hardest thing ever, man. Especially for
very
me.
hard.
Especially for me because I grew up saying, you
Yeah.
ain't going my way, I'm out.
Right.
And,
Right.
and that's very
Now you have
hard.
to give and take.
I think we have to, as parents, I think we need to show a lot of understanding, a lot of empathy towards towards the children, and keep shedding light and love on them, and allow them their space to be ready when they're ready. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that?
Because I mean I've went
Like
through that.
ready for what?
Ready to come and embrace that father,
Oh,
that
okay,
parent.
okay,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? When they're ready to come embrace that and make something complete. And I think more of the emphasis goes on that parent that has been absent, as I have been an absent father at a time, as my father was absent.
But your story is pretty interesting because you allowed that space, and then recently something happened, right? With
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I had to allow that space. I didn't like really allow. I didn't really want it, but I had to allow that space. The dynamic of my oldest two children growing up was very estranged with their mother. You know what I mean? A lot of different things, but then we don't. It is what it is. So me and my oldest two were apart for a while, and through me continually just sending out love. You know what I mean? I kept pressing them, not pressing them, but I would just tell, yo, I love you consistently, yo, I love you. And, we talk about water dripping on a rock, how
And
it
then-
erodes it.
and so he would never hit you back.
No, my son would never hit me back. And then my daughter came back. My oldest daughter came back first, my Kiwi. She came back first. And, that was a blessing. Me and her started building. And I would tell her, yo, tell your brother, tell Ra I love him. Every time, Dad, you got to deal with that. My son would say different things to her because he didn't understand that the struggle of himself and what he thought and all of these different things. And then recently, like a month ago, man, he hit me up and was like, yo, Dad, I love you and I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm here, and I just kept yo, I love you. I'm here when you're ready, son. I'm here when you're ready. I love you. We don't get time back. You know what I mean? And that's a very serious thing. And even looking at the dynamic, because the last thing I remembered about my father when I was young, the last image I seen of him, not the very last image, but when that disconnect, the true disconnect happened, I seen him getting put in handcuffs and getting put in the back of a police car. Then he wasn't around for years. And if I could, just real quick, I ended on this. I just want to shout out because after that, I didn't have like too much interaction with my real father. And a beautiful man came into my life. My mother has 6 children, and then my biological father had another son outside of the marriage, you know what I mean, which is my brother. So my mother was taking care of 7 of us to their head. You know what I mean? I was raised by a queen who got hustled like a king. But Dr. Imam Abdul Majid Kareem Hassan came into the picture, and I just want to say happy Father's Day to him. Beautiful man, you know what I mean? He really soldiered up for us and has been since he came in, yo, and took care of the village, took care of our village.
So Banff, what about you, bro? Is there a father figure, or your father, your actual father, whoever that you would say this is the one that maybe not have given you the blueprint of being a father, but they were still modeling something that inspired you.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't grow up with my pops either, so it was my mother's brother. You know,
Okay.
he wasn't around a lot because my family. I'm not from here. I moved here as a very small child, so my father wasn't here or my family wasn't here,
Mm.
and but my uncle always made sure that I was connected. You know what I'm saying? So he'll leave in the middle of the night, come get me, take me back to my hometown, whatever, just to spend the weekend, whatever, and then bring me back home so I can go to school. But my uncle, he pretty much gave me a lot of the blueprint for what it is to be a man on earth. You
What is
know,
some of the what is an important lesson?
One of
that-
the jewels. What's one
yeah,
of the jewels?
what are the
he
jewels that
dropped?
you learned and you're like, yeah, and you applied it to fatherhood today.
you don't make somebody pay for something that's free,
Mm.
Okay, okay,
and you can apply that to anything that's free that can help people, help your children, help your relationship, help your community. You don't make people pay for that. And what I mean, and as a child, it was funny because we had
That's dope.
I have found a
Mhm.
bunch of free
That's
tickets.
dope.
Me and my cousin found a bunch of these free tickets to this amusement park, right? So we like, yo, we going to sell them. He's like, what you talking about? Like, what you talking about? We're trying to make some money. He's like, yo, you can't sell people stuff that's free. That was the lesson right then.
right.
But I absorbed it. And as I got older, I'm like, yo, not saying that people shouldn't be paid for their skills. Of course, they should be compensated well for their skills and the fact that they're sharing them with people.
Hmm.
But overall,
And how did you apply that to parenting?
I applied that to parenting. Like, I just, I try to instill in my child, like, don't ever, they say kindness is a weakness, but I tell her never stop being kind.
Right.
Because that's really one of the ultimate strengths that you can have is being kind, and especially being kind in the face of adversity,
Yeah,
and with that, you give that willingly. You give it for free. You don't make people pay for your kindness,
right.
That's an art, bro.
That's
Mhm.
oh yeah,
Salute
dope.
that. Salute
Yeah.
that. And salute your uncle.
absolutely. To all
Yes,
the
sir.
uncles,
Yes, sir.
to all the
Yo,
uncles.
to be real with you, like brother Solo over here, he builds with a lot of children, that look at him as a father figure in whatever regard it is.
Mhm.
But he's a big uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, uncles are very important, man.
Crazy
Uncles
important.
and fathers are like synonymous with each other, man.
Yeah,
Because if something happens to that father, you want to have your brothers around, like, yo, look, I got you, man. I'm going to make sure your seeds, make sure your family is taken care of as best as that, to their ability. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
uncles are
What's
important.
what's challenging is when you know that in the dynamics of whether it's co-parenting or whether it's even when it comes to with a mother and her child, right? What's really challenging is when however they feel and however they perceive the situation in life, they become the contributor in the divide between you and the child. And it's almost like how do you navigate that?
Consciously or subconsciously.
Or subconsciously. You know what I mean? Doris, you were gonna
I
chime
just
in on
feel
that?
like when you're in a relationship or you're with the person, whatever, you see your kid all the time, right? But like when y'all break up, it's like you see your kid like whenever. I just tell like people like that's younger than me that have kids or whatever. Like, you got to go like 10 times harder with your kid. Like, you got to do way more than you used to do because your kid not gonna be seeing you like that.
Right.
So even when me and my daughter's mother, like, we weren't together no more, like, I still like call my daughter every day. I see her as much as I could, like, during the week.
How long
I
before
still-
you parted, you and your daughter's mother? Like before, like when y'all were together, y'all had your child. Were you like with her for a few years and then
It was probably like from '06 to like 2013 maybe.
okay. So
Something like that.
yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, so but I always been there from day one. Only like 2 times I wasn't there was like when I went to basic training for the army.
Mm.
I went to Baghdad and I was in college, but like if she ever called me like she needed whatever, I still come home like from Southington and still bring my daughter whatever she needed.
Yeah. Did you feel the difference when you were away, when you came back?
I still was calling though. Like, I still was calling. I'm on They had Skype back then.
I
On
was still
Skype,
calling, but
I'm
man,
calling.
I
like,
told you that month and a half, 2 months that I
Yeah.
had to go away, it felt crazy
Yo,
coming back.
I was going for a year when I went to drive tractor trailers, man, and that crushed me because I was with my daughter, you know what I mean, the whole time, right? And I left in 2012. She was born in 2008, so I was there that whole time, you know what I mean? And when I was away, knowing that she's going through school, going through stuff, but so when I came back, I didn't tell her I was coming back, and I came back for good for a situation that happened with my oldest daughter. But when I walked into the school and where it seen me, she dropped a book bag. She ran and jumped in my arms and hugged me, man. That was the best feeling. She was like, Dad.
Yeah.
And then she was like, yo, promise me you gonna never leave again, yo. And
Right.
and I made that promise. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But our kids go through that, man. They deal with that, of that absence of that, you know, that parent being
Yeah,
there, man.
yeah.
And that's
Kids are like are literally sponges.
Oh yeah, they
Literally,
absorb everything.
because if you are parents and you together, you're still in the household together, you still around each other, the kid is gonna absorb all of that. You're gonna absorb the father's personality. You're gonna take up the mother's personality because that's who they're around. But once that those parents break up, and the parent that has the kid physically all the time,
right.
he or she gonna absorb every personality or every little thing that happens in that household. So that's where the draw come in at.
Yeah.
Where when you feel like you going for that year and you come back and now the kid like looking at you like,
That's why,
Especially if
yeah.
especially if that mother or that woman has some type of anger or something.
that's the point.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of the time
Right.
that's the situation.
Right.
That is the parent is gonna, like with me, with my first kid's mom, like I never said nothing bad about her to the kids, even though I could say, "Woo!" And when they came around me, they'll tell me like, "Mom said this, Mom said that, da 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 da," and I'm like, "Listen, that's your mom.
Right.
Whatever she tell you to do, that's what you do.
That's what you do.
You know what I mean?" So, but the thing that I used to always tell them also was, listen, when they start telling me stuff like that, you know how it is when you with me, and you know how it is when you with her.
Yeah.
Just watch.
I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know, even though I try to prove, I said the last episode, in the last episode, I said that I felt like my goal was to prove that I got this. I'm gonna watch. She gonna be dressed right. You know, I still don't get the hair right. You know what I'm saying? But she gonna be dressed right. She gonna be, her bag's gonna be packed, the wipes, everything gonna be in there. You ain't got nothing to say. I'm efficient. I got it. You know what I mean? That was what I was trying to do. But I never got everything. And I'm gonna keep it real. I think mothers are just better at
Absolutely.
creating systems and
But
care. Having certain ways to care for the child. I think
believe
they're
that.
just better.
and
I
that's
believe
something that I feel comes from the creator. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I feel like that comes from the creator. That's why they're the moms. They birth. That whole system of birth and what they're prepared to do is just something that we can't even fathom. you know?
And it comes to a point as a man, you have to really say, all right, listen, this is what they do.
And yield.
I
Knowing to yield.
I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
what to do.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna act like I know what to do.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what to do, but
Yes, sir.
I don't want to tell her. I don't
Right.
know what to
I don't
do.
want to tell her.
I don't want to tell her.
I don't
know
want
what
her
to
to
do.
know that.
See,
Oh, sometimes she'll leave, and I almost I'll be like, oh, I'll be mad, like, yo, she got me. She
And you
got
can't
me.
say nothing.
I can't say nothing.
But that's the like the biggest problem with co-parenting, even with relationships, period, between men and women. It's like men, we different. Like we just different people, man. You know what I'm saying? And we process things different. We experience life different. A lot of us as from children. You know what I mean? So then when we grow up, like there are things that women are better than us at naturally. I'm not saying that there aren't things that we both
Absolutely.
can't do and learn to get better at.
For sure.
But out the gate, out the starting block, out the instruction manual, like there's things that they're better than we are, and there's things that I believe we are better than. because that's just the way it is.
Right.
But ultimately, whatever it is we good or bad at or whichever, we gotta recognize that between each other.
Yeah.
Like we gotta be honest with man, we definitely gotta be willing and say like, yo, you're right.
Yeah.
We don't want to say you
Yeah.
right.
And it works
Yeah.
together.
We don't want
you
to
bowing
say you
down.
right. Like, yo, I'm right, but like, yo, you right. Like that's your lane. Take it, and I'm gonna just step to the side. If you need my help, let me know what I could do.
Right.
But on the flip, it's gotta be the same thing for us too. Like I said, we were speaking earlier. Like most of us men, yeah, we laugh and joke and have a good time. But when we have our families with us, we the protector.
Mm-hmm.
And when we see something, don't question what we see.
Oh,
Like,
man.
yo, we gotta go. Well, why?
No.
See?
Yeah, when I look at movies, I'm always mad about
that one little
No.
why could be the difference between us getting
That's-
hurt and
Yes,
getting
Right.
out of
That
here. Like,
hurts
yo,
me.
if
That's-
I see it, please just follow. And then when we get out, when we
Yes.
get to safety, I'll explain
Yes.
everything.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
But
That's
So
a
gotta
good
be
word
explained,
right
though,
there.
before you
but
can have
it's
it.
something that when you got relationships with anybody, even with your children, you gotta just recognize where we all are and try to build with each other on that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy, and that's crazy too, because I think that whole. Now, let me ask you all a question: have any of us ever contributed to this thought that dynamic is created to whereas we don't give enough respect to each other lanes, men and women, fathers and mothers.
The dynamic of
The dynamic of understanding. Look, the whole understanding is my lane is not better than yours. Your lane is not better than mine. Our lanes work together.
Right.
But so many times a lot of women try to take that role of I'm in all lanes.
Yeah.
I'm in all lanes.
I feel like there's a history of us contributing to that. Yes.
You know what
I do too.
You know what I get? I kind of get offended by even with my wife because I'm a Madden guy.
Okay.
Madden is not a game to me.
Yeah.
It's not
I-
a game.
We're gonna have to get it.
Yeah.
I want you to beat him.
We're gonna have to get
to
it.
beat Rem.
It's not a
in
game
Madden.
to me. However, when my wife see me playing the game, she got this look like
Yeah, man.
okay, like listen, this is what I do to relax. I
Right.
don't say nothing to you when you jump on your computer and you doing your thing on your computer. That's what you do to relax.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just, to me, it's just more like a woman to think like whatever you doing is nonsense and what she doing is more important than what you do.
Some.
Like,
Some.
Some.
Yeah.
Some.
We gotta be
some.
very
Yeah, no,
clear.
we- yo,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
you
Because
used to
this show will be canceled in a
man, we
second.
still
Some,
gotta get
some.
out the building.
Yo, she used to walk by. You love Madden.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like maybe
I'm
you
like-
should marry Madden
But I
you
feel
love
like-
Madden break up homes and relationships, yo.
because it's not a game.
But I feel like because the system, one thing that my daughter's mother was great at. We were both first time parents, but at the same time, the system of like formulas and the bottle, or we didn't do much formulas, but the bottles and when they were gonna be warm and in the whole system that was laid out wouldn't have been me. If I produced milk, it would be in a gallon, and I'll just put that in the fridge.
Yeah, like, yo, we gonna pump all night, man. We'll get a week's worth tonight.
What they say, milk this cow the best way you know how.
Now, listen, that's why God, I don't think, gave us that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? There
man.
needed to be a system.
I'm
The
looking
only-
for Enfamil coupon.
Oh, for real, right?
Yes.
I'm not even
The
using
powder
these.
kind, the
Yeah,
powder
let me
one.
get that
Big
powder.
Well, I just want to speak on one thing. Like, it's hard to be a father,
Mm.
and it's hard for women or people who aren't fathers to respect fathers, because for well over 40 years, a lot of us ain't have fathers.
Right.
So we don't know what it looks like. We don't know what it sounds like. A real father, like a real father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that.
Right.
I know a bunch of us that didn't have
Nope.
it. So when we grow up to be fathers, who do we have to map that off of?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't Google that.
And I think to add on to that, I think the other challenge with not understanding, not understanding what fatherhood looks like is also not understanding until we get older systematically
Right.
what we're dealing with.
So when you have all of that it's very hard for there to be respect for something like Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? It's like male or female, boy or girl. If you grew up without your father, you don't know what a father is.
That's real.
If you're a woman and you get involved with a man, you get married, even if you ain't married, you have a child with a man, and you don't know what a father is, when this young man who may know who a father is trying to be a father, you might not be able to see it to respect it.
Right.
Or if you get involved with a man who didn't grow up with a father, y'all both ain't have fathers, how you know, how do you gauge what this man is trying to do? He's trying to learn how to be a father. He's trying to do it. You can't stunt that. But it's hard because if she don't know what a father is, it's like it's an ugly battle.
But look, not only that, Doc Ben put me in a space, right? Because then we have to recognize exactly what that man that's now trying to, his father wasn't there, right? And now he's trying to be a father. What is that man's mentality or that child's mentality going through? And people will look at it and say, oh, but like for my situation, you have no excuse. You had pops. You know what I'm saying? You have pops. You have no excuse. But now as a mature man, I could look back and I could say, well, you know what? I pushed pops away a lot of times. And I was angry a lot of times because I expected him to leave.
Right.
And didn't even realize that as a child back then. Because my real father left, why would he stay?
Right.
He staying doing beautiful, so I gravitated to it. Then I backed up from it because I'm like, oh,
He might leave.
he going to at some point. And I didn't know that then, excuse me, but I can articulate it now. I didn't know that then.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what's that like?
That's family trauma, man.
It is trauma.
It's a long,
and I think
long time of family trauma, man.
one of the things that I actually was looking at an article that said that the children's well-being goes hand in hand with dad's mental health, because there's a lot of studies on how women's mental health affects a child, but there actually isn't a lot of studies on the dad, and the dad is even more significant when it comes to the child's mental health and the mother's mental health. Postpartum depression is a real thing. Men actually go through it. The problem is we don't know what that looks like because the hormones are different. You know, our testosterone and the way it works looks different with us.
Right.
So a lot of us could be dealing with postpartum depression and we don't even realize it.
Yo, that's deep.
We don't even realize it.
I think
That's deep.
I think before, because I gotta go in a second.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to touch on too about the father thing, the Father's Day thing, or it's systematically is what society and the criminal justice or the Department of Justice look at a father that don't pay child support, how they look, how they view you when you don't pay child support.
Yeah.
It's like once the mother go to that court and say that you don't pay child support, that whole court system is designed to look at you as deadbeat.
Absolutely.
Like the system is designed to say you don't pay child support, you're a deadbeat. So the mother of that child put you in a situation not only saying that I have to defend myself against these people because they already got a system of what they think of me.
Right.
So now I have to fight that system.
Right.
And it's a losing battle.
And now,
it's losing.
because now you got the court opinion that's looking at you a certain way, you know. But at the same time, you build up resentment because you're looking at her saying, "Why would
because
you put
she
me in that situation?" Now, there's some men. There's a lot of men.
I had to exhale, man.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of men that need to be brought to court.
No doubt,
you know what I mean?
doubt
We
about
know that.
And I don't want to cast a shadow on the guys that do what they supposed to do, but it's guys that's out there that are scumbags.
Absolutely.
That absolutely, they got a pocket full of money. They fight in the court to not pay this, not to pay that, and you got it. Like whatever the court, like right now, whatever the court ordered me to pay, I'm gonna pay. It's not an argument because that's what I do. However, if the court instruct me and tell me I have to pay this amount of child support, and tell me that don't give her no more funds. If you don't want to give her funds, go through us. Well, she went through y'all, so okay, I don't got no problem with that. But you're going to mess it up when you ask me for the extra things
because I give you more now.
See,
I give you more now than what child support is asking me to pay.
and
Right,
I understand that, yo, and yo, I get angry about that because I'm dealing with situations right now at hand, and I've decided I'm not coming to give y'all nothing else, and I gotta go to court soon. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go in there and tell them, yo, that I'm not giving you all another thing, and then come get me if you think you're gonna come get me,
Well,
man.
see, the thing about what you, Ram, and with other brothers that I know is I
man.
know how emotionally available they are for children. I know how physically they're available, and I also know that economically, money wise, it's rough. You know what I'm saying? And so when we start to add on the stress of with the courts, you know, that along with just trying to get to a good space, just trying to get right, you know, a lot of that starts to weigh down, and that mental health. Now we talking about mental health. It becomes a whole cycle, a vicious cycle where it's like you got the courts, you got the dynamics with co-parents, and then you have at the same time the man himself being like, I want to be a great father, but I got to do this, that, and the third. You know, all of that stress, you're not going to create a dynamic that's healthy for the child.
Once you involve them, you are no longer a father.
Them meaning the courts.
You involve the
I
court.
feel like
you
that.
involve DCF. You involve any of these services. If it's not warranted, like you did something wrong, but they get involved, you are no longer a father, man.
And I don't
'Cause
want to
they-
sit up here and act like, I'm the best dad.
Not at all.
I don't think anybody
That's
is.
not my
Yeah,
that's
nobody.
not my point, because there's a lot of things that I admit to that I could do better, that I could have done better, and that I
Absolutely.
should do better.
Yes.
However, it's that little, like, where that's coming from. Why you felt like you need to call these people
Right.
and tell them that I have to do something that I know that I have to do, and you know that I don't mind doing it.
Right.
So when you get them involved, now my mindset changed about who you are and what you think of me.
I'm really glad that I didn't get them involved. It was rough for my co-parenting situation. It was rough to get to a point where we can handle it amicably. And I want to say peace, brother, for peace for coming through, Coach
Hey.
Solo.
Nice
Yes,
meeting
sir.
all you.
Thank
brothers.
you, man. Likewise, we'll talk
Dope.
again, bro.
Coach Solo's about to receive an award, community award, for all the youth that he serves, man. So I really appreciate that. But the dynamics, considering the dynamics and everything that was going on, it was really rough, to get to that place. But I'm really grateful that I did not involve any courts in any kind of way. Not for alimony, not for child support, not for any of that, because I do believe that if they were involved even the slightest, no matter how great of a father I might be, I do feel like I don't believe I would be in the right head in the same headspace I'm in right now.
Yo, and that's real because like yo, it is really traumatizing because like for my youngest daughter, man, Anastasia, yo, and I still try to deal, with some therapy type sessions because that's it's a mental space issue and things that I'm working with to make my relationship with her what it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? But her mother still ain't run down there and go. You know what I'm saying?
Some women
To the
different.
court, and yo, if anyone would have had that, like real right to my daughter and her mother, I could see, her, but
Yeah.
she still is like, yo, and then, shout out to her, real talk, man, because she's still solid as a rock as far as that, yo.
Right.
And that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, wow, yo.
Yeah.
And allowing me to have my time to get that space in order so it could be, what it needs to be for my daughter. Because I don't pretend either to be, I'm sitting up here like, yo, but we fighting, but we working, man, and we striving.
Yeah, go ahead, Bam.
I just want to say, can we change the current of the river that we going down, man?
Oh, I was just about to.
Because all I want to say is to begin a new current is, we just expressing that fathers, we go through a lot as fathers, man.
That's the
But-
main thing. Yeah.
However, we still champion the fact that we fathers. Like we not.
Yeah, so
not-
I wanted to, and I was already going there with it as far as really just because we do have to address the challenges that fathers do face. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But as far as the dope part of being a father, You know what I mean? The best parts of being a dad.
Is recognizing that Father Day sucks.
Oh, I mean, Ali Sadiq, man, he hit it on the money.
Yes, sir.
He hit it on the money, man. Father's Day, it does suck. You know what I mean? Fatherhood is great, but
Right.
Father's Day sucks.
It's nothing.
You know?
Say this.
That's
Let me
why we,
see.
yo, that's why we're here to take Father's Day back, man.
Yeah.
Fathers, we're gonna take Father's Day back.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. I think like for now on, moving forward, we should promote Father's Day like crazy. We shouldn't rely on, because marketing wise, it's easier to market towards the woman. It's easier to market towards the mother. As a matter of fact, if I'm not
There's
mistaken,
more women anyway.
Father's Day, if I'm not mistaken, was like, I think the first woman who thought of Father's Day was like in 1860. It didn't become a thing until the 70s. You know, so
Wow.
Father's Day is still very very new.
And is it because of our ancestor fathers, why we get the gifts we get? Because
Yes,
are
it's-
they the ones that were just like,
Listen, we get the gifts, the gifts that they market towards us are aligned with the gender roles that are usually associated in parenting. So
Yeah, man.
so the father is going to either get the suit
the lawnmower?
or the tools.
Or the bottle of brute or high karate, man.
Right. Right. You know what I mean? That's what the father's gonna get. You know what I mean? The mother's there's so many ways to market towards the mothers.
Yo, what? They say every kiss begin with K, right? So you know they got all these diamond.
Yeah.
Like, what jewelry do they have for us and K's, man?
No, nothing. Nothing.
You go in there, yeah, they got plenty in there. They got diamond earrings that you can give to your wife.
Yeah.
More stuff to give away, man. They don't have nothing for us.
It's more stuff you gotta buy
Yeah.
to get.
Yeah, I gotta
Right.
get it.
But I think that's really just like how we own our own media and all this. We need to really focus on marketing Father's Day better, not just because of a marketing the way it looks, but because us celebrating it makes fatherhood even more enjoyable. Because let me tell you, man, I know all y'all feel the same. I love being a dad. Like I love being a dad. I love the questions that my daughter asks
Right.
and being able to be her first teacher.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And see the growth, see the light.
Absolutely.
See yeah, man. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the best
Yeah.
feeling. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? What is the only thing that I do have to get right is I gotta learn how to do my daughter's hair. Like this is getting ridiculous.
I'm not doing it.
I was gonna talk about that. I seen something on Facebook the other day. I shared it on my page.
Yeah.
It's like a local salon. Like they're really teaching the man or the father how to do the daughter's hair.
Is it local in New Haven?
I don't know if it's local in New Haven, but it's on my page. I screenshot it, send it to you.
I
Or
wanna
send it to you.
actually call out not call her out, but I wanna ask Tanya Daniels. I forgot Latanya Daniels. I'm forgetting her shop's name right now, but I'm gonna ask her to do that. Hold some classes
Yeah,
to teach
like-
us how to do kids' hair, man. Because you know, if my daughter by Saturday, my daughter's hair is looking real frizzy. Edges are looking real. It's
Son,
time to get
she
right.
She need a do-rag fam. You gotta do-rag that up, man.
You got a daughter. Did you ever learn how to do her hair?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. I mean,
did it a little
you know,
bit.
I
little
you
bit?
know, I sat around with my little
Now she had to braid it,
cornrow
not the
game,
shot.
and you know,
yeah,
little
see,
things like
at least
that.
if I could do that.
See
but,
the one
but
thing,
it ain't look good
the
though. It
one-
wasn't like,
Crazy, right?
She had the meat meal dookie braids.
nah, it wasn't that bad.
right, but the one thing I learned that when it comes to doing hair, and I don't know how to do the hair, but the one thing I peep that you could really, so when the braids start getting a little fuzzy, if you slick the edges,
Yeah, but you gotta be
slicking the
careful.
edges always bring a dynamic
You
that
gotta
makes it look fresh.
You gotta be careful because you could slick the edges and you start looking like you start looking like Tatiana. You know what I mean?
like they getting ready for a lace front.
Be real careful how you slick those edges.
yeah, I guess so.
Bev, you have a celebration. You've been doing this for the last few years. It's not nowhere where we're talking about social issues. It's almost like how we were doing here. We're just talking.
Yeah, you know.
And we toasting. Talk about that a little bit.
It's Father's Day toast. We officially been doing it. This will be the 6th one, but it's been about 10 years. It started off with just a couple of the brothers I knew that had children. You know, we just decided to take Father's Day back for ourselves, you know. So the toast is in the afternoon because, families will still try to handcuff us in the morning for breakfast or brunch
Right.
or whatever, which ain't no
Hopefully.
problem. Yeah, which ain't no problem. You can get your bow tie that you never gonna wear or whatever, or that tie with the duck on it. But in the in the afternoon, we get together. We bring a beer or whatever it is we like to sip on of our choice, and we just have a toast, man. A celebration of us, celebration of fathers, uncles, men,
Coaches, yeah,
coaches,
men, yeah.
just anybody who cares about children, whether it be their children, whether it be about children in the community, trying to see the youth do something better.
And this is at Edgewood Park,
Edgewood Park at the Big Swing.
the big swing,
Yeah.
and anywhere between 12 and 3.
I'll probably be there about 12:30, 1 o'clock. But
Okay.
the official toast is gonna set off between 3:30 and 4, depending on
Okay, cool.
the number of people there. It's supposed to sprinkle or whatever. I'll be there, rain, sleet, snow, or shine, man. Don't matter to me.
Regardless.
But I'll be there. So come through. Come through. You wanna
Yeah.
celebrate fathers, man. Oh, and I've been getting a lot of contacts about ladies
Coming through.
wanting to come to the Father's Day toast.
Come
the
salute with
dads,
us.
for the
So
single
hold
dads.
on. I will say this. I haven't invited women. And the reason why I don't invite women because women are not fathers.
Okay.
They're not fathers. However, women, you may come and celebrate fatherhood with us. There's no problem with that. We don't shun the ladies. We don't turn ladies away.
Okay.
But just for invitation's sake, it's for the fathers, man.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
No
it.
doubt. Real quick, I know, Doris, you got something. And we're going to wrap this
shout
up.
out Diari Alec. He's having the 4th annual Fathers and Family Festival, June 23rd from 1 to 7 at Skittenberry Park,
Yes.
Ashland Street Park. And this is the 4th time doing it. Food, music, activities, and more for the kids and
All
the
right.
fathers.
Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for tuning into Electric Drum, 94.3 WYBC.
Peace.
Peace.